coming from the heart, you know, it's pretty carnage how we can get stuck in our minds, and the minds are like it's just like, it's something crazy. Like the minds process how much thought is processed from the minds, and then we kind of, I don't know exactly what the figure is, but we process millions of different pieces of information, and then we break it down to, like, I don't know, 17 pieces of information, and then we perceive 17 pieces of information in one moment, or whatever, science tells us about this. But it just goes to show that in any now moment, we're basically processing millions of pieces of information with our minds, and we only bring a small fraction of what's actually relevant in this present now moment. And if we think about that, and then think about until the day we die, we're constantly being bombarded with information and processing information. It literally is energy draining, and that's why a lot of us suffer from energy draining symptoms like fatigue, stress, going into anger, frustration. Is because the mind is constantly bombarding us with what's relevant. And if our life is not necessarily experiencing happiness, and it may be experiencing the counter opposite of, challenging, a very challenging environment, and this information which is bombarding us is bombarding us and reminding of us constantly the challenge of our life, it's extremely energy draining. And we're literally only left with really one choice to kind of start to silence the mind, is starting to wake up our emotional self, and starting to gain awareness within ourselves, which will separate ourselves from the mind and the heart. The heart is its own vibrational frequency, just like the mind is its own vibrational existence. If we're left with the mind and only stuck with our mind, it's going to be pretty challenging in this life. When we start to come back and start to awaken, start to engage, start to accept, and start to learn from our emotional self, we have the power to reactivate and engage and unite with this.